questions. Question orale, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Have failed when it comes to making life more affordable for Canadians. Canadians are worse off today than they were 6 years ago, with out-of-control gas, grocery, rent, and housing costs. And what does this Prime Minister do? Nothing, except blame everyone else. Inflation is the fault of COVID, and high gas prices, he blames Putin. That's a cop-out, Mr. Speaker. So what is this Liberal government going to do to reduce the price of things like fuel and groceries? And when are they finally going to do it?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, the member opposite talks about 6 years ago. One of the very first things we did when we got into office was lower taxes for the middle class, by raising them on the wealthiest 1%. We then moved forward with a Canada Child benefit that delivers hundreds of dollars a month to Canadians, tax-free, while not sending checks to millionaire families like the Conservatives did before us. Mr. Speaker, we have now indexed to inflation that Canada Child benefit. So as of next month, that will raise for families across the country to help them keep up with the cost of living as we continue to invest in supports for families.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Newsflash for the Prime Minister, Canadians cannot keep up with the cost of living. They desperately need a break on these high costs. Now, while some provinces are taking action to relieve the pressure on Canadians, the Liberals are actually cheering on high gas prices and raking in the extra cash. On top of tax increases that came on April 1st, we're now seeing interest rates rise, which will cost Canadians more. But this Prime Minister continues to deny the reality. Why won't he take some responsibility and do something to reduce the cost of food, gas, and housing?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, every step of the way, this government has had Canadians' backs and will continue to have their backs through these difficult times. We know we're continuing to lower Canadian cell phone bills. We did that by 25% as promised. We committed to working with provinces and territories to cut childcare fees in half this year. Families are already seeing real savings as a result. We committed to raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, and it increased again on April 1st. Also, by delivering an enhanced Canada Worker benefit, more families will benefit from that support. We will continue to be there to support families across the country.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, the reality is the cost of everything is going up, and the Prime Minister seems to be in denial about it. But you know what else is going up under these Liberals? Violent crimes. That's because they are soft on crime. Their soft on crime approach means that places like Winnipeg, Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal are becoming more dangerous, with violent crimes increasing under their watch. Yep. Criminals who terrorize vulnerable communities shouldn't get just a slap on the wrist and house arrest or bail. They should be behind bars. Why won't this Prime Minister start standing up for victims, do something to protect the innocent, and make sure that violent criminals are put in jail and stay in jail?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
What our communities need is a justice system that punishes criminals. What we don't need is a system that targets racialized people because of systemic discrimination. Our reforms turned the page on failed Conservative Party policies, which contributed to the overrepresentation of Black and Indigenous people in our criminal justice system. At the same time, through our new legislation, we're increasing maximum penalties from 10 to 14 years for firearms-related offences, including smuggling and trafficking. We are there to support Canadians and to keep Canadians